Mia was a little girl with sparkling eyes and an adventurous spirit. As she looked out of her bedroom window, she watched the raindrops dance on the rooftops of her quaint little village. The sky was a dull gray, and the rain came pouring down with a rhythm that was both soothing and mesmerizing. Mia sighed softly into the quiet room. No games outside today, she lamented to her reflection in the glass. But just then, her grandmother, who always had a twinkle in her eye and stories to spare, called out to her from the kitchen. Mia, my dear, not all adventures need to happen outside. Her voice was as warm as freshly baked cookies. Intrigued, Mia scurried to the kitchen, where her grandmother was waiting with a cozy blanket and a steaming cup of cocoa. What kind of adventure can we have inside on such a dreary day? Mia asked, taking the cocoa gratefully. Her grandmother chuckled and pointed to a large, old book sitting on the table. This, she said, is the Book of Imaginary Worlds. Each page can transport you to a place filled with wonder and delight if you just let your imagination soar. Excited by the idea, Mia wrapped herself in the blanket and opened the book. The first page was about a hidden forest with colorful leaves. As Mia and her grandmother read, the room seemed to fill with the scent of pine and the sound of gentle melodies. With each page they turned, new worlds unfolded before their eyes. From a sandy beach to a snowy mountain, they traveled far and wide. The rain continued to patter against the window, but it no longer bothered Mia. She was enthralled by her reading journey, learning new lessons with each tale: friendship, courage, and the beauty of being curious. As the afternoon wore on and the rain began to ease, Mia hugged her grandmother tight and thanked her for the adventure. She had learned that sometimes the most magical journeys happen inside our own imaginations. That night, as Mia snuggled into her bed, the patter of raindrops turned into a gentle lullaby. She drifted off to sleep with dreams filled with singing trees, wise turtles, and dancing snowflakes, smiling to herself, knowing that any day could be an adventure. One quiet evening, as the sun began to set, Annie and her brother Sam sat on the porch, surrounded by colorful sheets of paper. The magic of the soft twilight enveloped them, and little stars began to peek out in the sky. Sam's eyes sparkled with excitement. "Let's build a boat from paper," he suggested. Annie clapped her hands in delight, her imagination already setting sail. With nimble fingers, they folded and shaped the little vessel, giggling over every crumple and missed fold. The paper boat, although simple, carried a sense of adventure. As the paper boat came to life, Annie whispered, "I wonder where our boat will sail. Maybe it'll reach rainbow lands and cloud castles." Soon, they placed their creation in a small puddle in their backyard, watching it gently float, its reflection dancing on the water. And just like that, the little boat became a magical vessel. In their dreams, Annie and Sam sailed on, guided by the stars, visited by friendly fish who showed them secret paths and coral gardens. On this serene journey, they learned to trust each other and share stories, just as they had shared the laughter and craft of making the paper treasure. The boat journey taught Annie that with imagination, anything was possible beyond the bounds of paper and puddle. As night embraced the world, Annie drifted into sleep, the echo of lapping waves and soft laughter guiding her dreams to enchanting realms. The paper boat adventure was a tale of crafting joy, of sibling bonds, and dreams that could sail beyond what eyes could see. Once upon a time, in the cheerful town of Twinklewood, lived a curious little girl named Mia. Mia adored rainy days. While other children would frown at the dance of raindrops, Mia would giggle with delight. Rain meant puddles, and puddles meant adventure. One cloudy morning, Mia woke up to the gentle pitter-patter of rain against her window. She beamed with joy, jumping out of bed and dressing in her bright yellow raincoat and matching boots. She was ready for the wet and wonderful world outside. "Come on, Mr. Whiskers," she called to her fluffy gray cat, who lazily stretched before following her. Underneath her arm, Mia carried a tiny wooden boat her grandpa had skillfully crafted just for her. She had lovingly named it the Seagull, for it reminded her of the graceful birds soaring by the sea. Mia ran to her favorite spot in the garden where the rainwater pooled into a small puddle. Carefully placing the seagull into the puddle, she watched with wide eyes as the boat floated effortlessly, catching the wind gracefully in its small white sail. "Look, Mr. Whiskers," she exclaimed, clapping her hands in glee. Mr. Whiskers tilted his head, observing the cheerful scene with a meow of approval. Mia imagined being a captain sailing her boat across vast oceans, discovering hidden islands and making friends with friendly sea creatures. As the rain sang its soft melody around her, she drifted deeper into her dream world. In her imagination, dolphins leapt beside her boat, playfully splashing her with cool droplets. She waved at a mermaid with shimmering scales, who smiled and blew bubbles that glowed like lanterns beneath the water's surface. Back in the garden, the clouds began to part. A golden ray of sunshine touched the puddle of her imagination, making the tiny ripples sparkle like stars. Mia smiled, knowing that the magic of rainy days she loved so much came not just from the puddles, but from the stories they helped her weave. At last, the rain stopped, but the little boat, Seagull, continued to sail merrily in its small world. Mia scooped it up gently, whispering "Good night, Captain Mia, until our next adventure." Taking Mr. Whiskers in her arms, they made their way back inside. Mia settled her little boat on the windowsill, where it caught the light of the setting sun. As she snuggled into bed with Mr. Whiskers curled beside her, Mia closed her eyes, carrying the day's adventures with her into her dreams, filled with dreams of the vast seas she had yet to explore.